Alright, this video isn't going to be too long, but I'd like to talk about a problem that I know plagues a lot of Nissan 350Z owners that like to do engine swaps on their cars. So this particular vehicle is a 2005 Nissan 350Z. It does have a Chevrolet V8 engine in it. The engine is controlled by a Pro EFI ECU. It is not running the stock LS, A, or B style ECU. Not that that matters a whole lot, but I want to talk about how I got the original gauge cluster working in this particular vehicle. So the Pro EFI ECU, like a lot of standalones and all of your major OEM ECUs, displays signals via the CANbus signal. On the Nissan 350Z, the two gauges that generally do not work as a result are the tach and the coolant temp sensor gauges. So the original goal of this project was to get the OEM tach to work and the coolant temp sensor to work. Not that that matters a whole lot, because I do have retrofitted some. I took out I guess essentially the triple gauge pod that is in most OEM cars that people generally keep. Put in some AEM style gauges here just for something a little bit more useful for my application. But in this particular vehicle, what I ended up doing, I've got kind of a temporary solution wired up here just for testing purposes. But I've got I'm using an Arduino as a CANbus gateway. So I've got the signals coming from the high and low CANbus signals from the Pro EFI coming in through CANbus 0. And then I've got the high and low CANbus signals tied back into the Nissan CANbus within the vehicle on CANbus 1 here. So what I ended up doing then, obviously with the Arduino, I wrote up a quick sketch. I can certainly share some of this information, but as you can kind of see here, so two of the issues that you kind of face is, one, you might have some information regarding the CANbus output signals of your standalone ECU, because some of those manufacturers do supply some of that information for use in other CANbus dashes. But this particular CANbus on the Pro EFI also does not talk at the same frequency. So you can see here that basically the Pro EFI communicates at 1,000 kilohertz or 1,000 K, and the output, or essentially the Nissan CAN ring, is 500K. So the sketch here takes in the two signals. Really, the ones that I'm most concerned about are, again, the tach signal and the engine coolant temp signal. Translates them and rebroadcasts them at a different frequency. So it takes quite a bit of reverse engineering on the Nissan side, just because they don't supply the algorithms that they have or the calculations that they have for calculating engine coolant temp or the tachometer. So there's a lot of data logging and going through logs just to try to figure out what messages you're seeing on the CAN signal might be related to what. There's methods to getting pretty close to that, and I can certainly talk about that at some point in time if you guys are interested. But just kind of want to show that this does indeed work. There is no trickery. It is the stock Nissan cluster. You can see the coolant temp is already reading something, just because the car is somewhat up to temperature. It's reading about 150 degrees. I was doing some scaling at it earlier, but I want to do a quick startup here just to show you that the tach is relatively on par with what the Pro EFI ECU is saying that it is, which is controlling all the engine functions. So that's the most important part. So the Pro EFI tach is there, and obviously the Nissan cluster is up there. So I'll do a quick startup here and show you how close it is. So as you can see, the what I'm actually doing here is I'm rebroadcasting the messages every 10 milliseconds. I don't know exactly how quick the Nissan TAC can respond to signals, but I can certainly rebroadcast it at least that fast through the Arduino and not spend too much time with any latency, just because my program's pretty short. So again, I'll kind of show you. You can see it's pretty close. It's a little off. It's not bad. I would say it's probably within 100 or 200 RPMs, depending on where you're at. Again, the algorithm that calculates or translates the messages from the stock Nissan ECU is a bit of an unknown, so you reverse engineer it as best as you can. And for what the application I've got, I think I'm pretty close. So thanks for watching, guys. Again, cool temp sensor, you can see is also working. So any more information, please don't hesitate to contact, and I'll certainly provide all that I